What is good, you guys? It's your boy Randy Anderson here, and you are on the Average Guy Network. And pretty much what I'm here to do to tell you guys is, before we get into this good ass clip and or episode, is to make sure you right there. You'll see it like right there. You know what I'm saying? Or right here. Yeah, you'll see right here. One of the two places. You know what I'm saying? You'll see the like and subscribe and hit the notification buttons. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure you guys do that. But yeah, man, you'll either be listening to the Word on the Ad podcast, or you will be listening to Unofficial Referees, man. Whichever clip is on here, I'm just gonna let y'all know that. But yeah, man, make sure you like, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. And if you have anything that you wanna get at us about, you know what I'm saying, via the content, or if you guys have a question for us, you know what I'm saying, just go ahead and let us know in the links in the description below, man. Yeah, man, you'll be able to get the Facebook pages, you'll be able to get the Instagram page, you'll be able to get the link tree, you know what I'm saying, which has everything from SoundCloud, iTunes, not Spotify just yet, but it's on the spot where the Word on the App podcast is on Spotify and Unofficial Referees. But yeah, with all that being said, man, let's get into the show. We on the road.
Lead the ether in.
What is good, you guys? It's your boy Randy Anderson here with another episode. Well, with the episode, what is this? We call it a teachable moment. Since we
teachable moments. We ain't did this in a while.
Yeah.
It's basically just abbreviated episode of Word on the Ad.
You know what I'm saying? So
on a singular topic.
Yeah. So pretty much what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about the Colin Kaepernick situation, and we're going to let my boy Corey take off. So go ahead.
All right. So story is what brought this up. What brought this up already? Well, we probably gonna do it already because of all the all the news and everything that's been going on, the grumblings about Jay-Z's recent moves. I know y'all talked about it. I was on the podcast the other night, but I was in and out, so I missed that part of the discussion. So y'all went over that, but it's been I'm addressing the people out here. It's been a firestorm, especially on YouTube, different social media sites, and the overall consensus from what I'm seeing is Jay-Z is the sellout. I mean, I'm seeing it in articles posted online. I mean, everything. You just type in Colin Kaepernick, you're seeing Jay-Z. You're seeing titles. Colin Kaepernick. I mean, Jay-Z sells out Colin Kaepernick. You got Jamel Hill, who was formerly at ESPN. You got her article she put out. So I wanted to take a more in-depth look at this because I was on, I happened to be seeing all of this. But what pushed me to the edge, what made me put this post, I went on Facebook today and I put a post that said Colin Kaepernick is a complete fraud. And then, I talked some shit after that. I put drink blue. That's what I put after that. And so, I had a couple people, wasn't a firestorm. I had a couple people. My brother was one of them, and then another lady who's a Facebook friend. They were asking, they at first wanted to know my explanation. Of course, my explanation is so damn long. I'm not about to be doing all that typing on Facebook. So I told them I'll go into depth on it later. And they said they were interested on hearing this because, this was, they hadn't heard this angle yet. So I definitely want to put this out here because a lot of people are being misled. And Jay-Z's looking like the devil right now, the bad guy who, who left Kaepernick out to dry. Meanwhile, Kaepernick's looking like the prodigal son, Jesus Christ here. So, situation. What pushed me to the okay? No, let's just go from the start. Let's go from where it all began. We all got the timeline, so we all know what happened, right? Was it 2016 season? Start of the year. Colin Kaepernick starts taking the knee. No, not starts taking the knee. Let me get it right. Excuse me, y'all. Let me get this right. Colin Kaepernick, when they played the national anthem for the preseason, Colin Kaepernick is sitting on the bench. He's not taking part of when they're doing the national anthem. About there's no news or anything on it. About 2 weeks go by. 2 weeks go by. Um, Colin Kaepernick starts kneeling. Now, let me know if I have the actual this part, the actual order sequence wrong. Let me know if I'm missing anything. But he starts kneeling. They say within that span, what had him start kneeling instead of actually sitting down was a a military man had talked to him because they had taken notice. Now, keep in mind, this wasn't something that was recognized nationally. It wasn't a big story or anything like that. But a reporter had taken notice. Huh?
It was. It was before he started taking the knee. Right before that, I would say probably the week before is when it became national news.
Okay. So, but it wasn't a firestorm yet, right?
No, that's what created the firestorm, and that's why he had the meeting with the member, with the guy in the armed forces, was because it became a firestorm, and that was kind of the let's agree to disagree, let's be respectful to avoid coming across as disrespectful kind of type of thing.
Right. So yeah, so they had that agreement, and he decides he wants to take a knee now. So that's what he does from then on. And it starts that discussion and everything that we already know. A lot of people were divided. Divided a lot of people. A lot of people believed that it was disrespectful to the flag, and people died for it and things like that. I was all for it. I supported Colin Kaepernick because it's freedom of speech, and he wants to express what is, his reason. His reasoning was, I skipped all that. I got to excuse my storytelling. His reasoning was because of the police brutality that's going on in black neighborhoods and people of color. So that was his reasoning. And I'm all for it. If you want to stand for it, if you want to make that type of gesture to bring the awareness, I'm all completely for it. People talking about, your ancestor died for, so you can stand. Like, no, that's not what it's about. The Revolutionary War, I'm being very specific. The Revolutionary War was fought so you could, so we could have that freedom. That's what that was for. Not any other war. Not World War. Not Vietnam. I know it wasn't actually a war, but the Cold War, not the war in Iraq. All of those were for other different reasons that we don't even need to get into right now. But I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going. But the Revolutionary War was fought for that freedom. So you can make any choice. You don't have to be subject to a dictatorship and worshiping, an image and things like that. And then, going crazy when somebody decides not to. So he definitely has that right. And I completely support it. All right. So I took some notes. So, they're having that discussion, but it's not really huge yet. It hasn't really spread yet. They talked about it, but time, the season went on. Kaepernick starts, what I'm saying? He starts that season. I think there was an injury. He wasn't originally going to be starting, but I think there was an injury. I forgot who it was, and he ended up starting that year. The 49ers went 1-15. Kaepernick had a respectable run though. Through 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's pretty respectable. Wasn't really, he wasn't really bringing the wins, and he was pretty average. He was average, but we can all say that's something he deserves a spot on the NFL roster, and I think he still deserves that to this day. But that's a whole nother thing. So let's keep going. Kaepernick was in the midst of a 6-year deal around that time also, but they had the contract altered to where it became I think a 2-year deal with a player option for a third. So after that season, Kaepernick opted out of that final year. We'll get to that We'll get to the reasoning and things that took place before that later. So he opts out of that, right? So during that summer, there's a lot more different things, police brutality, many things that were in the headlines and in the news over that summer. So come the next season, a lot of the other players began to join in the protest, right? Hey man, y'all's quiet, man. I need to hear the church say amen, god damn it. Y'all niggas quiet and shit.
Amen.
So the others joined into the protest. So the others joined into the protest because of the other things. You have, Donald Trump's crazy ass coming out calling them SOBs and, this and that. There was all of that in the news. Let me see. I got the whole timeline. So he's a free agent around that time. Kaepernick's not playing. He's a free agent, but everybody's standing. They're fighting for him. They want him to be back in the league. We know the whole storyline with that. Come around November or so, Kaepernick files a grievance against the NFL. He files a grievance. Says there's collusion because nobody's even fucking with him. He's a free agent. Nobody's not getting any looks, no nothing. Nobody's messing with him. So he files that and accuses the NFL of collusion. Right? Well, what happened after that season? Remember, the NFL comes with the new rule saying you have to stand during the national anthem. Well, then we come to find out, and we were all boycott. I wasn't fucking with that shit, and then come to find out, I think 2 months had passed. Come to find out that they had rescinded the rule. They took it back within a month. They took that shit right back because that shit made them look completely bad, right? I'm just going through, so y'all got to follow me so we can understand where the fuck this is going, all right? So they rescinded. The NFL's caved in. Then a couple months later, you got the Colin Kaepernick Nike commercial. Niggas is talking about, and then Colin Kaepernick signs a deal with them. The NFL, not only they caved in during the when they rescinded the rule that they had, but now they're agreeing with Nike and Colin Kaepernick. So Colin Kaepernick, there was discussion about the Kaepernick get bought out and things like that, but it wasn't really nothing too big, Come February 2019, Colin Kaepernick drops the grievance and they settle outside of court for an undisclosed number. Now, people are saying, people were calling Colin Kaepernick then a sellout. I agreed with, I was all for him. I was like, man, go for it. He got his money. That's what he was in it for. That's what he's get your money. You know what I'm saying? So you're able to eat and be able to do whatever you got to do. You can make plenty of flips. You got millions of dollars, so you can do what you need to do with that money. So he settles out of court. We haven't heard anything about it. Everything's all good. The NFL, you can do anything the fuck you want like it was before. Marshawn Lynch was sitting on the sideline before during the national anthem and plenty of other guys, but it only became, the spotlight on it when Colin Kaepernick started doing it. But NFL went right back to where they were doing. Colin Kaepernick, he's accepted some money, behind the scenes. He can't talk about it. People are talking about him crazy. So now we have this situation with Jay-Z. What was it? About a week ago, y'all?
Yeah, it'll be a week ago. So we're talking present day.
Yeah. So here we are now, about a week ago. Jay-Z enters a deal with the NFL. So what's he doing? He's supervising the halftime show or something like that. Am I right?
Yes.
Supervising the halftime show.
Him and Rock Nation will be the people who choreate the halftime show and will be bringing whoever's going to be the musical guest. They'll be the one that vet them.
Okay, so got this. So he's doing the halftime show. He's joined up with the NFL. Everybody's going crazy now. Jay-Z's this, Jay-Z that. Jay-Z sold out. I mean, come on, let's go to screen share. Let me share the screen. Here we go.
Boom.
Yeah, you get that.
Take that.
Can you see me?
Yeah, we see you.
Okay, so don't pay attention to that. That was just it's blown up. That was like that has nothing to do with nothing. But okay. So I mean, look at this. Look at this. You know, back when Jay-Z was wearing Kaepernick's jersey, telling everybody to boycott the NFL, now he's banishing him for a check. And this is what I want to ask everybody: what exactly were you boycotting the NFL for? Are you boycotting? Because my personal reason, and I lifted my boycott as soon as it was honored. As soon as it was honored, my reasoning was blocking people's freedom of speech and for them to, express themselves in a non-violent way. He wasn't doing anything wrong, and so once they lifted that, that's when I came back because y'all are wanting. You're boycotting for Colin Kaepernick to come back, but what if he never comes back? I mean, why don't you just say fuck the, you know what I'm saying? Fuck the NFL completely. Because what if he never comes back? Are you just gonna what are we fighting? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What's the target? What are you trying to target? So you got all of this. Look at this. Don't pay attention to that. We'll go back up there to that. Jay-Z sells out Kaepernick, grabs big money from NFL. Don't pay attention to that one right there. That's for something else. Y'all know what I say about capitalism. There's Jamel Hill's one right there. Jay-Z helped the NFL banish Colin Kaepernick. Now, this is what I want y'all to take a look at. I don't have it. For the people who are watching, just put in Colin Kaepernick. Go to Google, whatever, and put in Colin Kaepernick trade. Put in Colin Kaepernick trade. And I want you to take a look at the dates because it was discussed all through that summer. Do y'all remember this?
Shay said Jay-Z is focused on acted items. He feels he feels the issue was police brutality.
Right, and we'll get more into it. We'll get more into it. So y'all remember what do y'all remember the summer before this all started? Colin Kaepernick, I'll tell you right now, Colin Kaepernick was demanding a trade. He was trying to force his way out of San Francisco. He demanded the trade because he didn't like the way things were going. There was all type of stuff. Now, this is my only question, and it's not the reason. It's not my reasoning. I knew all of this then, but I still didn't hold it over Colin Kaepernick's head. So this is here we are. Okay, no, I have it on here. So he wanted to be traded from the 49ers that summer. Now, keep in mind, my only question then was what about that time made him want to stand and be vocal about police brutality and different things? What about that time versus any other time from 2012 with Trayvon Martin, Eric Garner, some other guys? What about that? What about that particular situation would make him want to be vocal? This is all the type of stuff that you were hearing in the news. Let's see. What's this? A sex triangle. I mean, not sex triangle, a love triangle with Alden Smith. You remember that, right?
Oh yeah. With him and his now I think girlfriend or fiance.
And this ain't be messy or nothing. This is just, he was with Alden Smith's old girl. I'm not gonna hold that against him or nothing like that. I'm not gonna hold that against him. But you wasn't hearing nothing else. He was smiling in McDonald's commercials and doing all that. Very quiet. But like I said, now out of nowhere, what now? Why now are you deciding to make this stance? You weren't vocal. You weren't vocal before. You didn't tell anybody until an owner asked you. So how do we know that was the reasoning and you weren't just throwing a tantrum, right?
Mm-hmm.
So y'all have all of this information. We know the whole timeline with this. So what? Let me ask y'all first. Do y'all believe? I think y'all. They told me y'all said y'all don't think Jay-Z was a sellout. He sold Kaepernick out or anything, right?
I said business is business.
Right. Business is business. It's business. You know, it could be. You know, I heard a lot of people saying he could be a gateway and he could get Kaepernick in. I mean, maybe, maybe not. Who the fuck knows? We don't know, and I personally don't care because this is about Colin Kaepernick being being pushed as some type of hero and you know the leader and he's the voice of the people, but we haven't heard nothing from him. We hear about little works he does, but we haven't heard nothing from him on different things. And so Jay-Z, so let's look at it. Let's look at it. Eric Reed was very vocal, and he still continues to be vocal to this day. Do you remember what he said? I can't remember exactly what Eric Reed. He just said some more stuff today, right?
Yep.
He said some more stuff today. Eric Reed. He was critical of Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if did you remember what he said?
I do not remember exactly what he said.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what he said, but
he said a couple things.
Huh?
He said a couple things.
Yeah, he said a couple things. Basically, the same thing that everybody else does. Everybody else is putting out there. So where are y'all getting this from? That Jay-Z helped the NFL banish Colin Kaepernick. Remember, what part of the deal? Because Colin Kaepernick is, like I said, he already reached an agreement. Where was Jay-Z in that agreement? Why is Colin Kaepernick supposed to be a part of this agreement, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Why is he supposed to be a part of this agreement? And then also, let's see. So they're all calling him a sellout because he allegedly turned his back. This is what Eric Reed and all of them say. Now look at this up here in this corner. This one right here. This is from Colin Kaepernick's Twitter. Also, his girlfriend went in on Jay-Z. So look at this. You never turned your back on me or the people, even when the NFL tried to silence your voice and the movement. You've never flinched or wavered. I love you, brother. Let's get it. E. Reed 35. And to the people, I see you. I hear you, and I love you. Thank you for having my back. Black Fist. So we can take that either way, but how do y'all take it? Because the way I look at it, judging from the current events and the timing and everything, it's a thumbs up to Eric Reed for what he's saying, for the stance he's taking on it, right?
Yeah.
Because he's taking a check from the NFL. Because Jay-Z's taking a check from the NFL. So answer me this. What the fuck is Eric Reed doing? What's his job?
To be a supportive friend.
No. What do we know Eric Reed's job to be? His employment.
Oh, he's an NFL player.
NFL player.
Drawing a check from the NFL.
Getting checks from the fucking NFL.
He's a fucking hypocrite. You can't get on Jay-Z for what the fuck he did, and this nigga still work for the same pressures this motherfucker's trying to co-star for.
Exactly.
Like, nigga, you still work for these niggas. You didn't say, fuck it, I don't need this job, nigga. I still got money in the bank.
Exactly.
A lot of them motherfuckers.
Hey, Ryan, but this gets even better. Because then
try to criticize another business shit.
Hey, but this where it gets even better. Because now, look at this. So we see, and these are all screenshots. These are screenshots. So if you take a look, you play it. It's a countdown.
You're making the larger impact.
Huh?
Hey Ryan, if when you talk, make sure you standing still.
What the fuck is my shit going
up? So if you take a look at it, it's something that can get played. It can't get played on here because this is a screenshot. But if you go to his Twitter, you'll see he has a countdown for the number of days that he's been denied work in the NFL. He's been denied work in the NFL, and when he and when he
nigga, you wanna make some mercy, nigga?
Right, and when he initially put this countdown up, this countdown right here, he said it was basically, I forgot exactly what he put, but it was basically, hey, I'm still here. So he's looking to get back to the same league that he's criticizing Jay-Z for going to and doing business with. He wants to do business with the same exact league. Eric Reed says nothing to Colin Kaepernick. Eric Reed is in the league, in this same exact league. They're talking about nobody contacted. Jay-Z didn't contact Colin Kaepernick. Did Colin Kaepernick contact Jay-Z before he decided that he was going to settle it out of court for undisclosed money? So now, let's get into that. For undisclosed money. So now,
10 mil.
Right. So now we don't even know how much they paid him off. And then on top of that, there can't be any discussion about the case. There can't be any discussion about the findings and what they found that can prove his collusion case. He got paid off with money.
He sold himself out.
He sold his fucking self out. So when you put all this, like I said, I didn't have no problem. I loved what Kaepernick was doing. I love that he was fighting for, not fighting for something like that. I just love that he brought attention. Now, I even said back then, I don't know if that was, like I said, I don't know. I personally don't know if that was his reason for actually sitting down. Because like I said, he wanted to be traded. He wanted to be gone. And that's what plenty of players do when they don't get their way in the NFL, is they pout and they start to make moves like that. But it was necessary. It was necessary because what that did was it didn't expose police brutality. It's been police brutality. That's been going on for years. It exposed just it exposed the beast. It showed a beast that was out here, where basically you have people that will try to rationalize a flag. A flag. You know what I'm saying? I don't see anybody going crazy when they're using animals for game hunting for sports and putting it on ESPN and things like that. But for a flag, that's scary right there. It awoke that beast right there, and it put people up on the mindset of where we are as a country. It showed that it was a complete gauge. Like I said, Colin Kaepernick may have not even meant to do that, but he inadvertently made that happen. So I didn't put him at the forefront of anything. But
are you saying he's like Rosa Parks?
Huh?
Are you saying he's like Rosa Parks?
May just be. And you got it. And like I said, he gets credit for it because he didn't have to say it, but fuck, he said it. Hey, what are you doing it for? It could have been something that was just the first thing off the top of his head. I'm doing it for black people. I'm doing it for police brutality because he don't want to look like a child. Like I said, who knows? Who knows? But I wanted to use that so you can have an idea of what it was going on before that. You know what I'm saying? And why? And I'm just asking the question, why all of a sudden? There was plenty of stuff going on. Why all of a sudden at that time did you decide? And then on top of that, we haven't heard you before then, and we haven't heard
conference. I ain't seen another Nike commercial. I ain't seen nothing.
We haven't heard nothing since then. We haven't heard nothing from this guy since then.
It basically it got your attention to the point where it made motherfuckers that saw the shit think, damn, what is he talking about? Let me look into it. But did it doing anything to make motherfuckers say, what is he talking about? Let me look into it. Damn, what can I do about it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was the bandwagon. It was the T-shirts. It was everybody got all Nike, everything. It was, you know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah.
It's like Corey Holcomb said that shit, bro. Marches are like the most waste of energy when you trying to get some shit done. You know what I'm saying? Because motherfuckers praise Martin Luther King for the Million Man March and all the shit that he did. But don't nobody talk about all the motherfuckers he drug with him to die for his cause. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody talking about all the motherfuckers that got laid down. You know, he marched motherfuckers into their own death. It would have been different if, niggas was strapped up, actually,
Oh, I don't know about all that.
Whoa. Slow down, Tiger. Slow down, Tiger.
Nigga. Nah, boy.
About all that. Yeah.
I'm kind of worried about them changing facility at MLK Boulevard, nigga.
Nah, MLK is worthy of all what, unless you can find something different from the narrative and the story that's been given. What I studied about MLK is somebody to, he deserves reverence. You know what I'm saying? He deserves.
My point ain't like, he
wasn't leading people blindly.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not discrediting what, these people are doing. I'm just saying, what are you doing to actually make an impact? Like, all of your efforts are just drawing attention to this thing, but how are you provoking motherfuckers to change? Are you, even like what you said with the police brutality and shit going on right now, motherfuckers ain't raising their heat at the police. Motherfuckers ain't standing outside the police station and barricading their shit in so they can't fucking leave with pitchforks and signs and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They grab a microphone, they say some slick shit to catch ears and all that shit. And that be the fucking end of it. Motherfuckers ain't applying enough pressure to actually change these things they call themselves fighting for, but they get all the fucking credit and glory and shit behind what they stood for, but what exactly benefited from it? What changes were substantial enough to have an effect or an impact on society to keep that shit from happening? Right. You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't stopped nobody's show. There's still police out here beating the shit out of niggas, killing motherfuckers cold blood, getting suspended with pay, getting their job back. These niggas is murderers. It's like the right to bear arms that we was talking about the other night. You know what I'm saying? Like, same fucking shit. You calling this nigga a fucking terrorist because he exercised his right to bear arms by walking into Walmart with his heat showing? He's a fucking terrorist. But police walk around with body armor and shotguns and rifles in their car and guns on their hip and shit. And there's a long ass record of these motherfuckers abusing their power, and ain't nobody trying to disarm these niggas. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck you need to have your guns drawn if you just pulling me over because my tail light out?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is your gun drawn because I'm out here cutting somebody's yard and you ask me if I got a license for it? You know what I'm saying? Nigga, if I'm not a violent offender, there should be no weapon on your person at all in any shape, form, or fashion because you don't have any reason to assume that I'm a threat to you. But at the same time, I'm supposed to think everything is cool. But nigga, you coming at me with a motherfucking gun out. You know what I'm saying? You coming at me with your hand on your pistol. You know what I'm saying, man? Fuck all that.
Yeah. So that's and all of that is by design. And one thing that I tell people now is, black people, it's really it's a complicated matter. But black people were the guinea pig for that. You know what I'm saying? We'll always be looked at as expendable. Black people were being used as the guinea pig. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. That's one thing that needs to be people need to be awoke. You know what I'm saying? Aware of, because now they're instituting the same things that they put on black folks. Now you're seeing it in multitudes with the white folks also, because it's a lot that goes into it. All I'm gonna say is, take a look at your United Nations. Take a look at your United Nations. There's a lot that goes into that. It's something that's Aryan driven. You know what I'm saying? It's white supremacist driven. I'll say that, but not like how you think. See, they want a world that's where it's like a dictatorship, where they're controlling every single thing, every single aspect, but they don't have black people in that picture. You know what I'm saying? They're not a part of that picture. They're not about including us in society and things like that. It's really, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? The way it is. So, but we're being used as a guinea pig. I mean, even from body cams and things like that. What they're showing now is we'll do anything, even if it's being recorded on body cam. But we'll get in more into that. We'll get even deeper into that, you know what I'm saying, later. But see, these are the type of things, see how we talk about it, and we talk about it on a weekly basis. You haven't heard anything from Colin Kaepernick or anything like that. And I wasn't personally expecting anything like that. I'm not looking for nothing. Like I said, I like, a lot of people are looking at him as the savior. Now they want to hear him and he's the leader. I never expected any of that from Colin Kaepernick. But now to be disrespectful for Jay-Z, Jay-Z's been vocal. If Jay-Z has an ulterior motive or this and that, maybe so. But he's been vocal on many different things. He's been making different moves, helping, black men do this, in sports, all type of different little things. I mean, he even, this is the second time I've seen somebody, because Colin Kaepernick's basically doing the same thing. It's like with Adrian Broner. He offered Adrian Broner more money than Adrian Broner was ever going to see. And, and pretty much since then, since his fights, Adrian Broner hasn't even made even a percentage of what Jay-Z was going to offer him. And it was, it was like compared to Floyd Mayweather, it wasn't that, much, but it was, 20 million over 4 or 5 years? I mean, shit, that was way more than what Adrian Broner was ever going to see. And Adrian Broner's response to Jay-Z was, suck my dick. That was his exact words, suck my dick. You know what I'm saying? He felt like he was being lowballed. And so Jay-Z just washed his hands clean of him. And all we've heard from Adrian Broner is suicide. L, and threatening to commit suicide, threatening the Jeffrey Epstein himself, allegedly. So man, this is another one. This is another spit in the face. Jay-Z was riding with you. Like I said, you made your decisions and your dealings with the NFL, and Jay-Z wasn't a part of any of that equation. So why the hell were you supposed to be a part of what Jay-Z does? Because he got in where you're trying to go, where you're still petitioning, where you're still working out, trying to get a tryout and things like that, where you're trying to go, where the same guy who's being the most vocal about it, where he's playing every fucking Sunday at, receiving a damn check from, where he was sitting on the sideline, because keep in mind, he was gone for a little while, but he was on the sideline with Cap. And as soon as the Carolina Panthers had that check for that ass, he signed that paper and he's out there back to hitting on Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying? Hitting and getting his interceptions and shit. So
yeah, I got Eric Reed's tweets up here.
Yeah.
And one of them, he said, these are mutually exclusive. They can both happen at the same time. It looks like your goal is to make millions and millions of dollars by assisting the NFL and burying Colin's career. And then somebody, Sports Center responded, everybody knows I agree with what you're saying. And Kaepernick's underlying message. So what are we going to do? Millions and millions of people will help millions and millions of people or get stuck on Colin not having a job. And that's why I was like, you can't call this nigga Jay-Z a sellout because he didn't offer this nigga a fucking job.
And you heard what he said. He's helping the NFL. Jay-Z is helping by doing the halftime shows. Jay-Z is helping the NFL bury Colin Kaepernick's career. But your ass is on the field playing strong safety for the Carolina Panthers, generating all that revenue, helping them, helping the Panthers and the rest of the NFL, Fox, NBC, CBS. You helping them generate all those ratings. And I think you're doing the same exact fucking thing, right? According to your words. To your words, Eric. So it's the hypocrisy of this. Like I said, people were asking, they wanted to see my angle and why I believe. Oh, you on twice, Ryan?
Yeah, cut one.
So I hope y'all follow. I hope everybody's following me. I'm not the most eloquent speaker or anything like that, but I make sense in what the hell I'm saying. And this is something that nobody's talking about. Like I said, back just to revisit, a quick recap. Colin Kaepernick was having issues with the 49ers. He wanted to trade. He wanted to be forced out before his contract was up. He didn't get that granted. Come the start of that season, because that was over the summer of 2016. So starting that season in August, now he's sitting on the bench and he don't want to get up for the national anthem. And so now it's been spotlight on him. He didn't tell anybody. He didn't say, "Hey, y'all, because of all the police brutality and things like that, I will not be standing," and all of that. Now he got the spotlight. He got the spotlight put on him. So now he's got to come up with an answer. That's just speculation. That's just speculation. I don't know what is in that man's head. But like I said, what about then versus any other time? I can't read that man's mind. What about then versus any other time? And now you have this to where he's co-signing the bullshit that's being said about Jay-Z. Like I said, Jay-Z is no angel. Jay-Z's an opportunist. Jay-Z is an opportunist. I think he has that in him too. Whereas, he has some good stuff. He puts out a good message. He puts out awareness and different things like that. But this whole entire crucifying of him, and this is completely uncalled for, and it's completely misguided, and it's hypocritical. And Colin Kaepernick, I'm most disappointed in Colin Kaepernick because he backed it up. He supported all of this bullshit. So I'm done. I'm done. I hope y'all followed me on that. Y'all, what y'all got to say about that, man?
I'm just surprised you didn't bring up the fact to where NFL and Jay-Z have been in talks to where Jay-Z could possibly be part owner of an NFL team.
Hey, I mean,
this doesn't sound familiar to you guys?
What?
Jay-Z was a partial owner of the Brooklyn Nets until they made the Jay-Z rule.
Oh yeah. Well, they did that. Jay-Z wasn't even like a full 1% owner of the Brooklyn Nets, but he positioned himself as that and went along with the whole rebranding from New Jersey to Brooklyn with the whole, the new uniforms and everything they had. It gave him that cool factor. So that was more branding for the Nets, but he never owned anything with them. I mean,
less than 1%, but still.
Yeah. I mean, less than 1%.
I mean, but like it's just surprising. Well, it's not. I'm never gonna say it's surprising. It's just that as soon as Jay-Z comes out and says him and Rock Nation are gonna be a part of the NFL now, when they didn't see it was gonna be all praise and it all became backlash. Now we hear that the front office from the NFL and Jay-Z's Rock Nation's camp are saying that that he will be a partial. He could be possibly a partial owner of a team. They didn't give numbers of how much he would own or how many percentages he would own of a team. What team he would even invest in or be partial owner of. It's just when they seen that backlash and they felt that backlash. Now we got to get the mops out. You know what I'm saying? We got to do cleanup patrol. So I mean, yeah, it's a lot of things that people that I don't know if people have looked at, but I'm just like, okay, all right. That's all I got.
Yeah, man, I got something to say, man.
Talk about it.
So here's the skinny to it. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of poor people that ain't never really done shit in life, thinking that they are theologians and fucking philosophers and professors and all that type of shit. Number one, you gotta understand the whole story before you open your mouth, man. If you follow Jay-Z's career, follow his music, Jay-Z has been about one thing above everything else, and that's about money. He's about getting his dollars, man. He's not going to allow his money to be sacrificed for anybody else. That's number one. You know what I'm saying? What he said, I'm a hustler, baby. I sell water to a well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. Like, I mean, that he said that over and over, you know what I'm saying, throughout the course of his music career, you know what I'm saying? So he's already put himself out there about who he is. Number one, you know, number two, when Colin Kaepernick started this, you know what I'm saying, I believe that his cause is righteous. I believe that he was standing for something that he actually believed in. And to this day, I still feel like he believes in his cause. But if you remember when we were having this conversation way back then, one of the very first things I said is Colin Kaepernick cannot be the leader of this movement. He is not equipped to do it. I
Mm-hmm.
said that, and he's gone radio silent for pretty much ever since he's been basically expunged from the NFL, blacklisted, whatever have you want to word it. Uh, he's been radio silent. You know, he'll post on Twitter here and there. You know what I'm saying? He's got the video out there, but he's been pretty quiet. Now, that's not to say he's not doing anything, because Colin Kaepernick has won awards and he's done things, you know, for his cause, you know, through his different foundations that are trying to move the needle. You know what I'm saying? As it relates to, you know, police brutality against people of color. You know, so I'm not gonna say he's not doing anything, because he's doing something. You know, it's just I would say it's not super documented. You know, right, wrong, or indifferent. It hasn't been super documented. Uh, but when we talk about Jay Z, you know, uh, there's a lot of reasons that Jay Z did this. He did it, and I would say 99 problems, 99% of it is for him. Like, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Now there may be a small inkling that he's saying, you know, I want to go another way around it. You know what I'm saying? To try to find a different way to try to attack this problem as it relates to the NFL. You know, because that's one thing that I think we need to really pay attention to is police brutality is way bigger than the NFL. Way bigger than the NFL. Colin Kaepernick just made a statement as an NFL player. But police brutality has always been way bigger than sports. So, you know, this goes back to, you know, people of color leaning on celebrities to try to lead the cause, man.
Exactly.
When they don't have background on how to handle the media, the PR, not even how to handle people in general. So Colin Kaepernick wasn't ever fit to be the dude to lead the movement. He may have made the initial statement that got the needle moving, but he never was gonna be that guy, you know. And you know, as black people, brown people, whoever you want to word it, it's not our job to agree on everything. We're not supposed to agree about everything. So, you know, there were people that didn't support Cap when he was doing all this. That was their prerogative. They had, they wasn't nobody holding their head to, you know, on a gun to their head saying that, you know, you got to do this because it's representing a black cause. You know, we got to get away from that. You know, when people disagree, you got to respectfully move on. You know what I'm saying? That's just somebody that don't want to roll with you, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Uh, you know, and so, you know, Eric Reed may have a problem with the way with what Jay Z's doing, but you're doing the same thing, like we said. You know, you're drawing a check from the NFL as well, so don't try to act like you're not out here doing the same exact thing. You know, so you don't have a right to criticize. You know, you don't have a right to criticize the people that are standing by Jay Z's side, saying, "Cool, Jay Z, go do your thing." Stephen A. Smith was like, nah, man, you know, Jay Z's prerogative to go out and do what he wanted to do. If he wanted to be a part owner, minority owner, whatever you want to call it, because there's other minority owners in the NFL. For those of you that don't know,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Like there's many of them. You know what I'm saying? And so if he's the one that gets in the door, he's not the first one trying to get in the door. He's not the first one. Puff Daddy tried to get in the door. Steph Curry tried to get in the door.
With the
Yeah,
Carolina
there's a lot of
Panthers.
people, a lot of black people that try to get into the door from an ownership standpoint. You just and that's not even facts. Like that's media right there. That's what that is. Media had to get their ugly hands on this shit and start writing stories. Just start writing stories. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Why? Because people gonna believe them. People gonna believe whatever's put out to the media. You ain't never heard Jay-Z saying he trying to get part ownership in the team. You just heard that from the media. So until it comes out of Jay-Z mouth, it's just speculation. Is all it is. You know, and I want to circle back to this black people, brown people, whatever, agreeing on everything. You know, during the civil rights era, Malcolm X was doing his own thing. Now he and Martin didn't see eye to eye on how they was gonna handle the situation, but they had a mutual respect for the fact that both of them was trying to attack it in some form or fashion. You know, right before they was supposed to have a so-called secret meeting before they shot Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, they were trying to figure out if they could do something together, if they could join forces, them being two powerful black men, not only for the movement, but really also for protection of self. They both knew that they was targets.
Yeah.
They both knew they was targets. You know what I'm saying? Fighting for a righteous cause. You know, and so, the fact that they didn't agree, what did that do back then? That drew lines. Oh man, fuck Dr. King, man, on soft ass nigga talking about nonviolence. Get your ass out of here. We gonna kill these honkies. You got the people on Dr. King's side saying, see, niggas always want to do that nigga shit, trying to kill motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That's why we ain't ever gonna get nowhere. Yeah, the same shit. Same shit. Still going on today. What are we doing? This nigga Jay-Z a sellout. Jay-Z sold out for himself. Like he absolutely sold out. What's the definition of a sellout? Selling out for what you want to do. What do we tell athletes to do? Sell out to play. So are they sellouts too? It's all terminology, man. When you
Yeah.
break it down, so you know, uh, Jay Z is sellout. You know what? That's opinion. I'm gonna let everybody have theirs. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It ain't my place to 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 make you think a certain way. It's my place to really give you something to actually think about. Is he really a sellout? What if this is a backwards way for him to try to get Cap back in the league? What would we say? What would we say if Cap in 2 years, Cap is back in the league, and then you see a picture with him and Jay-Z dapping it up, saying thanks to Ho? What we gonna say then?
He could probably kiss that goodbye because like that's why I brought
Right,
up
because of
Adrian
his
Broner.
statements. Right. No, I totally agree with that.
Yeah,
So that's why we got to be careful. We got to be mindful of those knee jerk reactions, because I'm gonna tell you what media is doing. Media is gonna have a heyday with this. You know what I'm saying? Media is gonna have a heyday with this. This ain't gonna go away. And you know who don't care? Jay Z. Jay Z don't give a damn. He like, well, I'm gonna do me regardless of what you chunks is talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Jay Z's a billionaire. Billionaire. You got hundredaires trying to talk shit about somebody making a power movie, mad because you can't make one. You don't understand how to make one, so you gotta criticize it because you don't understand. People criticize what they can't see, what they don't know. Everybody got an opinion. Like I said, we got Facebook philosophers, you know what I'm saying, out here thinking they know everything. Don't know nothing. Nothing. So, you know, I don't think Jay Z is a sellout. I think Jay Z is a businessman that made a power move. You know what I'm saying? Jay Z is a musician above all. You know what I'm saying? He's an artist. That's how he came to fame. He may be doing it for hip hop. He may just be trying to expand the hip hop brand. You know what I'm saying? Or expand the music brand. Because if you listen to Jay-Z's music, take away his words, listen to the soundtrack, it's locked into it. Hey, man, I'm telling you, the man knows music.
Hey, what? So let's go from it like this. Let's say Jay Z's not in it for that reason. Let's say Jay Z is in it 100%. 100% for he wants to do whatever he wants to do. Straight capitalized. He ain't worried about nothing niggas. You know what? Nothing niggas got going on. It's the fatten up him and Beyonce's pockets.
Yep.
Does that change anything?
That nope, not to
No,
me.
yeah, not to
Don't
me.
change
Not to
anything.
me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what is this supposed to change? You know, this is Jay Z is staying in his lane.
Right.
Jay Z know how to get money. He know how to make power move. So let him show us as people of color that are trying to figure out how to get this money. You know what I'm saying? Here's another way to do it. It could just be another way for us to understand how to get money, but we too busy, you know what I'm saying, trying to live in a mindset, that is gonna keep us where we are. You know what I'm saying? We too busy stuck in that mindset. Everybody got to be on the team. Everybody ain't gonna be on the team. You know, when you embark on your shit in life, everybody ain't gonna want to fuck with you.
Look,
Everybody ain't gonna ride with you.
hey, just to add that, it's not because you do want to try to get as many people as you can on the same page, especially with what's going on. I mean, if y'all ain't been paying attention to the news, you don't understand what's going on. You're not supposed to understand what's going on because a lot of the stuff is just not public knowledge, but they're putting everything right in front of you. They telling us where the hell we're headed to. Just pay attention. Keep paying attention to the news. But I forgot what the hell I was about to say. I forgot what the hell I was about to say. Well, damn, I forgot the point. Keep going, Lauren, man. I forgot the point I was about to go, man. Where I was
Nah,
about
I
to
mean,
say
I
this.
mean, we could talk about this at nauseum, and to me, what it come down to, man, is that Jay Z made a move that benefited him, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? He's entitled to that as a man, as a human being, making the move that's best for him and his family. You know what I'm saying? Uh, we can judge, we can criticize it all day, you know, but it ain't gonna change nothing. What's it truly going to change? At the end of the day, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Do we have to stand by what he's doing? No, we don't. He's still gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can pick and choose what side you want to play, what angle you want to take. But at the end of the day, this ain't nothing but a business move.
Oh, that's what I was about to say. I lost my y'all got to forgive me, man. That all that weed smoke over the years fried my brain. Okay, no, but what I was about to say is we have to get everybody on the same page as much as we can. Now, you don't force. See, and I think that's what we're trying to do today. You got a bunch of people trying to force each other and try to shame each other into believing what they believe and having their beliefs instead of uh, bringing factual information. You know what I'm saying? Or giving them a reference from where they came to formulate whether it's their fact, their truth they're telling, their opinion. There's too many people, especially on social media, Facebook, and all that shit. It's too many opinions and different things like that. Those are fine, but that shit is all. It's not based on any facts. It's based on however the fuck you think, what you feel, which is how a lot of us are moving nowadays. We're moving off what we feel. They're not saying abandon all of your emotion and things like that. There has to be a level of emotion because that, just doing logic, using logic without emotion, that's how the motherfuckers in power. That's how they think. You know what I'm saying? That evil minded shit. And not, recognizing the humanity in people. So you do have to have a level of emotion, but you got to use more damn logic and have something, reference something. When every time people can think All the shit I'm talking about on social media, they can talk about. They can think it's crazy as hell. It may not even make sense because, like I said, I'm not the most eloquent speaker. I'm not a fucking entertainer. I'm not, I'm not any of that. I'm not any of that shit. I know how to write well. I know how to make sense of different things. It may take me a minute to put it in a format to where you can understand as far as verbally writing. I'm off the chain with that shit, but it's gonna make sense, and I'm gonna give you reference points, and that's why I like to have this shared screen. Sharing the screen and different things like that, so you can see, so you can get an idea of what's going on. Because for the most part, I haven't heard not one site, not one news site, not even then, not then, and not now, not even bring up the possibility of is Kaepernick doing it because of a trade dispute and things like that. Is Kaepernick, doing it because of that? I haven't heard not one news site bring up the fact of Eric Reid's hypocrisy and so on and so on. And so it's right there in front of our face. And so what we're doing is we just see that we see the headlines and everything, and we say, yeah, that's exactly what it is. You see the fucking pro blacks, and you got all the pro blacks, and so calling Jay-Z a coon and things like that. These are the people that we follow blindly, not realizing there's a lot of them that are out here doing the work, but a lot of them are out here exploiting, saying different things, exploiting your pain because they know they can tell you what you want to hear, and they can avoid the issues that are plaguing us and putting the mirror back on ourselves and seeing how we can change ourselves. That's not going to generate the money. They want to generate and capitalize the narrative that's being put out on the news, and they're doing the same thing with this. You know what I'm saying? And completely ignore. I can't believe nobody else is recognizing this shit. Nobody else is shining the light on this. Like I said, Kaepernick, this whole thing is hypocritical. You got this guy sitting up there talking about Eric Reid, you have my back. Why? How come Jay-Z doesn't have your back? How come you didn't give Jay-Z any congratulations for the move that he made? Why?
Well, there is a very good song that I cannot play, but the title is "It Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City," and
ain't no love in the heart of the city.
That's right. That's right.
That old school jigger. Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, and Jay-Z ain't no damn. I don't look at nobody, as these damn saviors. Y'all need to start saving yourselves. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. I'm not gonna save you. You're not supposed to believe anything. Don't believe anything that we're talking about on here. Take it. You know what I'm saying? Anything you hear people talking about, take note of it, and then do your own goddamn research. Look into it yourself, or use your own damn mind. This ain't even needed with research. This don't even require research. This is right in front of your damn face. All you got to do is just use a little bit of critical thinking. That's all it takes. So don't believe me. Don't take my word for it. Anything. So you got to save your damn self. You know what I'm saying? Once people realize, start doing that, start doing their own information and start realizing what's going on, they start doing their own information, then we'll be able to come together. Then we can have agreements and stuff. But even, you got people that are saying the right thing. That's, they put out the right information, leading people down the wrong path, but they have the wrong type of followers because the followers are still, I'll just agree with everything that the dude says. And then as soon as he says something that's not, doesn't follow line to how they think, they turn on that person. That's because they didn't do their own damn homework to see which direction and follow this guy, which direction he's going. They're just going off of his words, going off of that. And then, wait a minute, that didn't sound right. It's not about what the fuck sounds right. It's either right or wrong. You get down to the truth and try to get it to as close to the truth as you possibly can, or put it to the side to the later date. But everybody wants to be fucking right. Everybody wants to take a side. Everybody wants to have an opinion. So
that's factual. So we gonna wrap this up.
Hey Randy, we got any statements from the audience, Randy?
Nah, nope.
They'll see on the rebroadcast. But
I was about to
if
say,
they
yeah.
really, if they really interested on, if they really interested on hearing what the reasoning is behind, if they really want to know, yeah, the rebroadcast is all up. They can hear it there. You know what I'm saying? We just went through the whole timeline.
Yeah, and also it will be on YouTube as well. I'll do the editing and stuff like that and get it up on YouTube for everybody that's on YouTube. Uh, yeah, so make sure in the links in the description below, man, you hit up all the web page or the Facebook pages, the Instagram pages, the link tree, and go ahead and let us know what you like in the comments below, man. Let us know if you have any thoughts about this. Let us know what you want us to speak on, or if you would like to be on a future episode of Teachable Moments and or Word on the App podcast. We also have a sports podcast. It's called The Unofficial Referees. But with all that being said, man, this is your boy Randy Anderson, and I do not own the
We
rights to this
gonna
music.
lead y'all to the truth.
Hey,
We lead y'all to the truth.
Don't follow us. Lead yourselves. Lead yourselves to the truth. Hey, we over here trying to find it like, you know what I'm saying, the other people. I'm not gonna say everybody else because it ain't too many people really trying to find the truth. Y'all believe in whatever the hell they put on CNN, whatever the hell they put on Fox, or whatever the hell they put wherever on the internet, on your Facebook timeline and shit like that, instead of digging in. So don't believe us. Hey, we gonna be over here doing what we do. You know what I'm saying? We like a small militia. You know what I mean? We're like a small militia. We a group. We truth seekers. That's what we trying to do. You know what I mean? Do the same thing. We trying to give you our findings and what we find, and try to shed light on the. You know what I'm saying? Try to shed light and put everything in the proper perspective instead of having these. This is why we're where we're at now. You know, whether we're black, brown, red, white, whoever, man, we're all in the same mind state right now. It manifests itself in different ways, but we're all doing the same shit. We're all lost right now. We're trying to find trying to find our fucking way.
lost in the sauce, baby. But yeah.
Speak for yourself, damn it. I'm not lost.
I'm found.
You sounded like a cult leader. You sound like Jim Jones. You had a nigga, Lauren Jones.
Lord Jones.
Lauren
Did,
Jones.
we found him out. He's the reincarnation. He the
Reincarnation, yeah. Reincarnation. That's your great uncle, man. Trying to drink that Kool-Aid. Y'all drink that Kool-Aid. Hey, stay tuned. Like I said, over the next, I mean, we been doing this. Like I said, this show is for truth seekers. We try to clean it up, try to have it in the best presentation possible. But our number one objective is to bring the information. I personally, I'm not a damn entertainer, anything. I'm not polished or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm rough around the edges, but I always try to get as close to truth as I possibly can. So stay tuned. There's a lot more. There's a video that I'm gonna send to you guys that I'm gonna put it in the thread. It's relative to what we've been talking about lately. And like I said, black people, we were the guinea pigs, and we've always been the guinea pigs. But it doesn't just stop at guinea pigs, because it's still people in power. It's a white supremacist plan, but it's demonic, man, and goes deep. But not only black people are at risk, but white, black,
everybody.
Hispanic. Nobody is fucking safe. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is fucking safe from it. You know, so nah, man, this is just gonna be another exposition on it. And we'll show you what we're talking about. But you know, we at war right now.
All right, so before we end this teachable moments, man, like I said before, it ain't no love in the heart of the city. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the old school music. If y'all listen to the old school, y'all know what I'm talking about. But with all that being said, man, we're out. Peace.